Welcome back, everybody, to another DBS deck profile here with Kyle Chris, bringing you guys a variation of Syn Shenron that I will be playing for our, I guess, yearly content creator tournament, and as well as the possible second PPG qualifier for the next weekend. Maybe some slight changes with ratios and some cards, and obviously I'm not going to show my side deck off for this tournament, but I'll at least show you guys the main board of what we are running. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and we'll get right here into the video. So Syn is a search top 5 leader when he attacks. So you search top 5 for a Shadow Dragon, any Shadow Dragon, add it to your hand, then shuffle. And every turn you can restand at least one Shadow Dragon, which does become very, very useful, obviously. Awaken, you awaken at 3 life, or if you have a 4-drop unison in play, and then you get to restand 1 energy and draw 2. This side, he draws when he attacks, restands all of the Shadow Dragons, and then his, for 6 energy, he gets to play out 7 dragons with different card names. Mind you, the card name is at the top here, so whatever the card name is at the top has to be different, not the actual character trait. This is kind of your end game. Obviously, turn 6, you generally play out all your dragons, and you'll more than likely win that turn unless they have a floodgate stopper, but we'll get right here into the deck. So for the main part of the engine, for 1-stars, for the 4-drop, and 4 of the 9-drop Syn Shenron. This is the main card everybody plays in every single deck because it's great. The 1-drop goes into the 4-drop, which allows you to tap a leader. You choose a leader in rest mode, and it cannot attack next turn, or you can choose a battle card 4 or less. And then you go into the 9-drop, which blanks every card that comes into play, ignoring barrier. Doesn't stop autos from going off, obviously. And then also has Blocker and Revenge. When this card is removed from the field by a skill or is KO'd, you get to draw 2 cards and play out a 1-drop for free. And the 4-drop gets to do kind of the same thing, but only when he is removed by a skill, he draws 1 and plays out a 1-drop. So this is sort of the main Syn Shenron engine here. And for the second part of the deck, we run the 7-star ball. Probably haven't seen this card because no one runs a 7-star engine for reasons I don't know. But this is an excellent turn 2 play. So you play this, and if you'll notice here, and I'll show this, the 1-stars activate main costs 1 yellow to go into the 4-drop and then start the chain. With the 7-star, it actually costs 0. Very interesting. So you can play this out on turn 1, and then automatically go into the 2-drop, which, of course, we run the 2-drop too, which is the Teramancer. So he is a 15k 2-drop that you get to play out for 1 energy. And when this card attacks, you get to choose the Shadow Dragon, put it to the bottom of your deck, which is kind of the whole idea of this deck, is to recycle our resources. So there are probably 4 dragons we want to continuously recycle, this being one of them, this one also being one of them too, because we're going to go through the 9-drop and the 4-drop a lot, with people removing it by skills or swinging and blocking and going through them. So being able to put these cards back into our deck so we can use the 1-star ball just to pull this out, or we can possibly draw this off of our leader, just adds to the value of the deck. So we run 4 of these for consistency. And then we go into the Super Neutron Dragon here, which is a 20k that also you put up to 3 Shadow Dragons at the bottom of your deck in any order, and this card gains dual attack. Now it says play up to. So you can choose 0, and this card will gain dual attack. So it is a 20k dual attack for 2 energy, technically. Really good. You also can combo this away for 1 yellow to play out a 1-star. I mean the 7-star, and then go up the chain again. Not super useful. Maybe after the first set of plays, maybe you want to combo this away on defense, and then go into that, and then go up the chain again, and then play another one of these out just to put more cards back into your deck. You can do that as well. And then we run 1 of the TP Neutron Dragon. I should have bought more of these. I got it for like $5, and now they're like 14 or 15 bucks. So I'm not spending the money on these ones anymore. But it is a 15k dual attack, or 15k double strike. Sorry, that's one that has dual attack. And when an opponent plays a battle card or a unison card, you can choose it and put it in rest mode once per turn, which ends up being really, really strong. You can do this on your turn or on your opponent's turn. It's pretty good. For some more dragons, we run 2 ice. This is your search piece. So for 1 yellow, you can pitch this card and grab a 1-star or any any basically ball 1-drop from the drop area play with skills negated. This is another card that we will activate using his effect, or even his effect, being able to put these back into the bottom of our deck so we can draw them again. You also, it is a counterplay where for 2 energy you can put any card that's being played in rest mode as long as it doesn't have deflect. Very useful. I definitely think I should be getting more of these if I'm going to end up playing Shin in the future, which is high possibility outside of Mecha Frieza. I would need more of these. I think maybe 1 more just for consistency so I see it. 4 is probably too much, but 3 is pretty good. More Shadow Dragons. We run the 4-drop Haze. Now you may be thinking, why are you running Haze if you don't run the Haze engine? Well, we're using it for its combo effect. So when you combo this card away, or when it attacks, which would be useful for the your 6 energy when you play it out, you can pitch a Shadow Dragon from your hand, and you can KO a card on your opponent's field that has a higher energy cost than its current energy. So this is basically your Arrival Broly. If you guys have seen the green-yellow Rival Broly, it KOs a card with a higher energy cost than your opponent's current energy. This does the same thing. This can be used on offense and defense, and we can use the Shenron, the Neutron Dragon, to put this back into our deck, so we can draw it again. I'm only running 3 of right now. I think 4 of will be what we are running in the tournament. Possibly, maybe I'll side deck 1, but having this card is just super good. All of these decks that are running big cards, you can just use these just to pop them, and then they have to start their chain all over again. And the last dragon is going to be the secret rare. Just because we're running, all the Shadow Dragons, we can pull this card off of our leader ability. It's not too bad. We don't have the ability really to play this card out super early because we don't run a lot of 1-drops. I guess if I'm not recycling my 1-drops, I can play this card out early. I would have to draw it really early. But the main thing with this card is we'll generally pitch it off of Haze, like turn 4, turn 5, and then play it out in turn 6. So when it comes out, it has barrier. It has blocker, deflect, and cannot be removed from your opponent's field by any skills. So technically, it has barrier. And auto, when this card is used, and when this card uses its blocker skill, you can restand it, and then it gains 5k. So if you don't restand it using that effect, it won't lose the 5k. Which, if you're running the Zarbon combo where you can restand these, I don't have them yet. You can restand this without having to use that effect, and then it won't lose its 5k. So it just becomes another 35k blocker again. Really good. Depending on certain matchups, I may mulligan to try to get this, and then just not use the Neutron effect to put the balls back in my deck, so I can play this card out a little bit early because its cost is reduced for every one-drop card you have in your drop area. So all of your 1-star balls, or all of your 1-star or 7-star balls, count towards this. So super combos, Zamasu is what you should be running. The yellow super combos are really good still though, like the Krillin that allows you to bottom deck 1 and draw 2. This deck draws enough, so we don't really need them. We like having this for the defensive purposes because we are a control deck, so we want to be able to control this. And it taps leaders, which is just nuts. So you can stop, if they decide to attack with a Unison or a battle card first, we can end up tapping whatever they put into play. We can end up tapping other attackers or tap their leaders so they don't get to draw off their leader swing. Poutine and Vegeta are the we're gonna rest cards package. So this card is a counterplay, comes out for free if you have a Unison, which we will. You can tap a card and then it's a blocker. And this card comes out for free whenever you tap a card, and then when your opponent plays a battle card or uses a counter skill, you can tap another card. This has barrier, this is blocker, very good defensive options. Depending on how the game's going, maybe I'll side one of these out to put something else in, but just generally 2 of these are pretty fine. If we had more room to run more Vegetas, we may, but we want to fit as many Shadow Dragons into the deck as possible for consistency with our leader, so 2 of is where we're at. For Maki Cabra, this is your main Unison. You can awaken off of this if you play it. +1, you get to draw and keep a card in rest mode, ignoring barrier. -4, you get to take control over a battle card. And then auto is whenever this card loses a marker, you get to choose one of your opponent's cards, either battle card, Unison, battle card, Unison, leader, or energy. Put it in rest mode, as long as it doesn't have barrier. And it's also, like, obviously it's a blocker as well. So this is your big turn 4 play generally. Sometimes I'll play this out on turn 5. generally with playing Syn Shenron, you either lose before you can play out Makikabra, or once you play out Makikabra, you stabilize and you're going to end up winning the game. It's generally it's a very sharp two-sided coin there. So we run 4 of those. Early, we will, if we have the potential to, we will play Vegeta. It's a very good tech piece. For -1, you get to make it so your opponent cannot attack with cards greater than their current energy. You kind of see a theme here with going for decks that go tall really quickly. Activate main, you can tap this card or a battle card, and then this gains a marker, so you can basically play this for 2, tap something or tap itself, and then -1, and then your opponent can't attack with big battle cards. So just basically stops them for a turn. -3, this card taps an energy first. I think people forget that this card does that. So -3, you tap an energy, and this card gains 5k, double strike, and dual attack. Super good. Maybe a card that we'll be putting in another deck, aka Mecha Frieza, possibly. So, but this card is great. 2 of. And then for extra card pieces, we run Final Flash. Blanks a card, blanks a battle card, and gain 15k. Release from Evil, blanks any card that's attacking. 2 Flying Nimbus. Floodgate also can pitch just whatever from your hand if you have dead cards in your hand, and your opponent can only attack with 1 more battle card. Matado. This card's amazing. I don't know why more yellow decks are not playing it. I just think they forget this card exists and how good this card is. So if you guys don't know what this card does, it's a power booster card from a while ago. It also got reprinted, so it's really, really cheap. 1 energy, counterplay, play this card. Mind blown, right? No, but this means that the effect, which is the auto, comes into play, and you can hit deflect cards. Use as an example, Frieza's Charismatic Villain. Same idea. The counterplay is to play the card. The auto is to KO a card. Really, really good. So the auto says when this card is played, you can put this card in the drop area, and instead, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with a higher energy cost than their current energy. Ignoring barrier, switch to the rest mode. It cannot be restood till the start of your next turn. This is super good. So when someone decides to drop Xeno Cell on you, you play this. Sure, you still have to pitch cards, but that card goes in rest mode and it can't restand. They just wasted their Xeno Cell. They play, basically works on anything but Victory Strike and Fu. Everything else it works on. So if they play the 6-drop Gotenks, sure, they'll KO a card, but it goes in rest mode. And then you can use Makikabra to keep it in rest mode. You can use it against Broly's. You can use it against the big Broly. You can use it against the Vegito card. You can use it against any battle card. Doesn't matter as long as it's higher than their current energy, and most cards are right now. They're playing a lot of decks. Dark Broly, Red Broly, Gotenks. They're all playing big cards. Even Shenron. So you can put them in rest mode and they can't restand until the start of your next turn. So for Shenron, obviously, probably wouldn't matter, but everything else, it puts it in rest mode. Really good card. We run one of in this deck because we just don't have enough space. But in other decks, in side decks, I will be running this card. I think anyone who's playing yellow should. Overwhelm pieces, just for more swings, we have Man on a Mission and Fu. Fu's just kind of a, if I don't have enough dragons, or if it's turn 6 and my opponent can kill me next turn, I'll use this so it turns off all of their skills. The interaction between these two are kind of interesting because I'm pretty sure this goes into effect first because you're the turn player. So it actually would negate his skills, and his skills would just go into pending. And so his skills wouldn't affect him. But I really don't know how it works. So somebody knows in the comments, let me know. I'm interested to see. But I'm pretty sure Fu, because you are the turn player, will, if your opponent has one of these, it will negate all of his skills, and his autos would just go into pending and wouldn't activate. Or they cancel out each other, which would be hilarious. But Fu's generally your game winner. You'll throw Fu down and just negates everything. The only card that can stop this is Frost Deadly Poison or Cold Bloodlust, which currently no one's playing Cold Bloodlust. And Frost Deadly Poison is not played just because it's multicolor. No one's playing multicolor right now. So Man on a Mission is a free Overwhelm. That's a 20k double strike crit. So if you have enough cards in your drop area, once you've played out your 6 dragons, you can end up playing this card out. Now for, figured I'd show you guys the cards that I would run when I'm playing out the 6. So first would always be the 9 drop, generally followed by the 4 drop. The 9 drop, you play it first because it will wipe your opponent's board whenever they play a battle card. So if they're trying to play a counter card, you can play this and then it will just stop all that from happening. Your secret rare, of course, you want to play out Haze, because why not? It's a double striker. The dual attack, you want to play out as well. The 15k, just because it is able to pressure your opponent's leader, and then the TP. Truthfully, the order should be these two first, because this will blank anything that comes into play, and then this card will put in rest mode. So that way your opponent, let's say they play out a Fajina, a Prideful Transformation. Sure, this card, will blank it so it doesn't have blocker, but then they can still use it as a combo piece. This you can play and then would tap it, so then they don't get to use it. This gets double strike, 15k, 20k double strike, 35k, and then 19k. So those are the ones that we're normally playing out. The 1 stars we generally won't unless we absolutely have to, mainly just to use them as combo pieces. But these are generally the 7 dragons I'm going to be playing out with my leader ability. So, but that is the Shenron deck. I feel like this version of the deck is slightly better than the one that runs Haze, the Haze engine, just because I don't think the Haze engine does too much now. I think the 7 drop just gives you a little more versatility with adding more resources back to your deck. Allows you to survive a little bit longer too. That's kind of the whole point. Especially against decks coming out like Shroom and Salsa, where they can warp battle cards from your drop area. I don't want to have battle cards in my drop area. So that's going to be a big card that's going to be played. And if you stop them from warping cards from your warping battle cards from your drop area, they can't draw and they can't play cards out. So just kind of a tech for future decks. But I think this Shenron is going to do really well. I'll let you guys know. Obviously, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.